Hi fans, I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at the XiaoQiJia, pardon me for the bad pronunciation there, XiaoQiJia. It's like confusing. U0658025JG, 80 millimeter, well actually it's 80 by 25, 80 by 25 millimeter USB 5 volt and DC 12 volt. So it's going to take a little bit longer to do this video because I have to show both because they're very different in terms of their performance. It's also got IPX5, so that's water resistance. It's a cabinet fan with mounting frame, as you can see. It also has this really long USB cord with the ability to add on more fans. Now, if you are doing USB, you'll be able to add on. Now, I find this a little bit confusing, but hopefully somebody who understands electronics better than I do can explain why it is that if you're using USB, which is 5 volts, you can power up to 8 of these fans. But if you're using the DC, you can only power up to 4 of these fans. So big difference given the big difference in voltage. Now, along with this very long daisy chaining sleeved cable and the mounting frame, it comes with 4 mounting screws that are also black. It also comes with 2 Velcro straps for the cables. And this part is very important. You cannot operate the fan without the controller. For whatever reason, the fan has to have the controller connected. I don't know what it is about it. If there's something in the fan that, like maybe inside of the fan, there's no controller whatsoever. So all the signals are coming from this controller. Now this is, again, we've got daisy chaining here. This has got a couple of special things, well, 3 special things that you should know about. First of all, there are 3 modes. There's normal mode, there's 12-hour mode, and then there's 24-hour mode. And to change that, and I'm going to show you this so you can see for yourself, there are you have to press both the power and time buttons in order to activate the other 2 modes, because the default is, well, the default. All right, so when you press both of these buttons, now having pressed it, it is in 12-hour mode, and then pressing it again, it's in 24-hour mode, and now it's back to normal. And then these are the speed. There are 6 speeds, 3 modes, 6 speeds. And again, USB and DC have different speeds. So if we press the power button briefly, that's speed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hope you're able to see that well enough. I'll do it one more time. Take off that light there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now for the for this part, this is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, all the way up to 6 hours. And you press the time button. 1, 2 hours, 3, 4, 5, and 6 hours. So that's pretty nice. It gives you a great deal of control. Additionally, if you prefer, if you're not going to use USB and you want to use DC, it does come with this. Let me turn the light back on. Comes with this USB to DC connector, so you will need some kind of a universal power adapter, which I've got ready right here to show you the difference between USB and DC power, which is significant. It's not a minor difference. All right, in order to accomplish this, you're going to take your controller cable and you're going to plug in the, I guess you call it the male side from the fan into the female side of the controller. And then you're going to plug in the controller side male into the USB port. So I've got that done. And this is going to be a little bit different, I think. So let's go ahead and put it on number 1. And it's just barely moving the air. In fact, when I checked this, I didn't even register airflow movement with my anemometer. Now with number 2, speed number 2, I did get a little bit of movement of air. It's very, very minor. You know what? Let me have you listen to speed number 1. It's so quiet. I don't know if you're even going to be able to hear it. 2. 3. Now you should be able to hear a bit of a hum, I think. I can. 4. And it's a higher hum now. No harmonic resonances. 5. And that's maximum. So on maximum here, the pressure is really, really minor using USB. So if you need pressure, so like if you're using this as a cabinet fan and you have to have pressure because there are barriers that the air has to get around, USB, unless it's a small amount of barriers, USB is not going to be able to handle it because it's the amount of pressure that I'm feeling here is maybe 0.5 millimeter of water for the pressure. So it's really, really, really weak. So now I'm going to plug this into the DC power supply. So we have to add the adapter, just like that. Then I'm going to add in the power supply. So now I've got my power supply. One of the other interesting things about this is it does have memory of some sort so that it will remember, which I assume it's encased inside of the controller. I don't really know, but there's some kind of memory that'll remember the last setting. Now, when I took it off of USB, before I took it off of USB, I did turn it off. But when I plugged this in, it was immediately up to 6, so I must have forgotten to turn off that. So clearly there is memory made available just for the purpose of remembering the last speed used before it was turned off. So let's put it on number 1 and we'll listen. This is already louder. Still not very much pressure. Low hum. And that's a lot louder. That's 4. So pretty loud. 5. And finally 6. Now, again, if you've got lots of barriers that you need to push the air around in your cabinet, and keeping in mind that this is exhausting the air out of your cabinet, so if you need air to be pushed in, this is the wrong orientation. You'll want to unscrew it from the mounting frame, flip it over, and then reinstall it facing inwards instead of outwards, so that you're going to be able to push that air around, because having this on output isn't as effective as having it on input. So as you can tell, very, very loud, and it's got a good amount of static pressure. Probably, I'm going to say at the very least, it's got 1.5 millimeters of air pressure. Probably wider, more than that, but it's coning outwards so much, it's really hard for me to, like, it's all the way up here. It's just it's just making such a wide cone that it's really hard for me to evaluate it. But it's definitely pretty good. So that's what it sounds like, and that's, you can use it in a cabinet. You can use it inside of a case, on intake or exhaust. You can use it for an air cooler. If you have a appropriately sized one, if you have an appropriately sized radiator, I guess you could use these on that too if you wanted to. I don't know why you wouldn't just buy it without the mounting stuff and the controller. But yeah, there it is. Let me show you. Oh, one more thing. So I just want you to see this stuff. I'm going to turn this off. It's awfully noisy. There we go. That's better. Now, I wanted to show you what is shown in the listing because it is a little bit helpful to have this information if you want to read it. So this is about the 3 modes and the speed and the timer push buttons. And then here's about the daisy chaining. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can't afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.